The first sign that something was wrong came when I turned the tap and got nothing but a dusty hiss. Now, out here on the edge of the ranchlands, water isn't just convenience. It's life. My cattle, my crops, the very soil all depend on that deep aquifer I tapped 15 years ago when I drilled my private well. So when the pump ran dry, I thought maybe the motor had gone out. I went down to the wellhead, and what I found made my stomach drop. The steel cap was welded shut. The pressure gauge had been ripped clean off, and on top of the lid a rough, gray crust of cement. At first, I thought maybe someone had dumped a few bags as a prank. But when I chipped through, the truth hit hard. The entire well shaft was filled solid. Someone had poured yards of concrete straight down into my only water source. I felt my blood boil, and I didn't have to guess long who would have done it. Because taped right there to the post, fluttering in the morning breeze, was a bright yellow note that said, "This well violates HOA water management bylaws. You are required to connect to the city supply immediately. Karen, HOA president." My ranch wasn't even in the HOA. The line ended 5 miles back at the subdivision gate. But that never stopped her. She'd been campaigning for months to bring my property under association control. Because, as she put it, unsupervised rural landowners threaten the community aesthetic. Now she'd crossed the line, literally into ecoterrorism. I called the sheriff first. He took photos, opened a case file, but sighed when he saw the signature. Karen again. Huh? You sure you don't want to sell and move? Not a chance. See, what Karen didn't know was that years ago, when the city expanded water service into the valley, they had to lease their pumping rights from me. My property sits right over the same aquifer that feeds their main line. In fact, I owned the water rights. I'd signed a 25-year lease with the city for access, a contract that included a mutual cooperation clause, meaning if any third party interfered with my private use of the resource, the agreement could be suspended. Guess who just interfered? I called the city water department. Yeah, I said. I'm activating clause 14. Suspension due to external sabotage. The director went silent. Wait, that would cut off about 1,200 homes in the HOA district, yes. Within hours, the city valves were closed. Pressure dropped across the entire community. Faucets sputtered. Sprinklers died mid-arc. Swimming pools half-drained. And Karen? She went ballistic. She marched to my gate the next morning, hair frizzed, eyes wide, holding her clipboard like a shield. You can't do this. People need water. I leaned on the fence post. So did I. You can't hold us hostage. I'm not. You filled my well. I filed my clause. The city can reinstate supply once they fix the damage and reimburse my repair costs. She sputtered. That's thousands of dollars. Cement's not cheap, I said deadpan. Behind her, a few of the HOA members were gathered. Furious, confused, thirsty. One shouted, Karen, what did you do? I swear, watching her face collapse under the weight of her own consequences was better than coffee. By noon, the mayor himself called me. He apologized, fast-tracked a repair team, and promised the HOA would be footing the bill. They had to dig 30 feet down to clear the well. The invoice came out to $87,000. When the report went public, Karen tried to claim it was a misunderstanding, but the security cameras I installed last month, the ones she said were visually disruptive, caught her pouring the cement with 2 hired workers. The sheriff charged her with property destruction, water tampering, and trespassing. The HOA board voted unanimously to remove her. But the best part? After the city reinstated the contract, I added a new clause. If HOA members ever interfere again, they lose priority water service for a full year. Now, every time Karen's old friends water their lawns, they do it with the quiet understanding that one rancher controls their faucet. I don't brag about it. I just smile when I drive past the HOA sign that says, Community Water Conservation in effect, because out here in the dry hills, people learn one rule fast. Don't mess with the man who owns the well. Droplet.